Bro, I must have talked about it. This must be one of those bullshit episodes that I've made. Like when I was dealing with Adventure Craft, something like that. Subscriptions being an NPC, loneliness, there's boredom. Uh, Perhaps I started making bullshit episodes that are 1 hour long, by the way. But it's still a journey, right? I'm branching into a new direction of like, let's explore what this thing is. We're going to talk about blocking and what it's every single aspect, everything that I can actually detect about blocking and what the consequences are, because people don't know. People don't know what's accumulating in their lives. The spiritual karmic consequence that I can actually fucking feel it very precisely, calculate it, the karmic consequences of everything that people want to dismiss because they're often in denial. And blocking is one of those major denial moves of like, okay, but I still have power over you. I can still block you. That's, yes, you have a gun to defend yourself. But if you defend yourself too quickly, then you are shooting down a messenger. You know, shooting down a messenger means declaration of war very early. Like, you're gonna be fucking crushed like an insect, basically. Eaten alive. Until we get what we want, basically. You shoot down a messenger, I'm sorry. We're just scouting, bro. We're just looking around. What are you gonna do? When we do this, press this button over here, and that one next to your heart. And it's like if you get infected, intoxicated, like whatever happens, we just pressed a few buttons, we're gonna let you go. But people get real upset real fast, no control whatsoever, bro. And they act like a mob of sludge, supporting each other of like, oh, we come here to fucking be nasty and be evil, and there's no karmic consequence of being evil on the internet because we're all anonymous. We all agreed upon of this. And it's like, shit, bro. You don't know. You don't know what happens. The karmic consequence is very simple. Why karma exists? I will explain you very quickly. So you exploit the system, right? Karma is about system exploitation. But then system changes and corrects itself. Oops. Rules can change. You know, you can be the best chess player and constantly kick noobs in the ass and steal their money, create a monopoly of I'm the best chess player, look at me. And then the rules change. And now you have to reinvent yourself. And if you have been cheating or manipulating other people, rules has changed, you can't do that no more. You might get fucking, well, a simple karmic consequence of losing your mind, losing your rating, starting all over again because you have been using shitty practices to get ahead of everyone else. Well, everything collapses just like that. That's karma. You create an unstable, immoral structure. Anytime rules change and update themselves, the bots gets removed from the game. That's just what happens. The bots, the useless creatures, everything gets washed away is the similar thing as the Purge or Noah's Flood. Noah's Flood, the rules have changed. Now everywhere is water. All right, and if you don't have a boat, you fucking screwed, is what we're doing when we're dealing with this sudden system change of a reason to be moral for as long as possible, you know, to seek morality for as much as possible. Because it's not a stupid thing to do by any means. You have to, you you will be able to adapt, you will be able to survive, you'll pick up cool skills, you'll pick up respect to other human beings, bro. Like, none of exploitation is not allowed for this very reason. And people ask of like, does karma exist? Does karma exist? Oh, it's just the only reason they ask this question is they're scared. They just want to make sure that like karma does not exist and doesn't catch up to them and doesn't fucking pull their pants down because they don't know morality yet. So who the fuck knows? Pulling pants down on you is going to be completely moral and trendy thing to do. You know? If you don't know morality, like anything goes, anything switches, and you're going to be exploited instead of you being the exploitator. You know, it's just the script changes onto you. If you do know morality, you know that certain things are not supposed to happen to you. Like bad things all the time, every fucking day, constantly, non-stop, bro. Like that should stop at some point. Like someone should try and solve your problems. Someone should try and socialize with you and not just leave you alone, bitter and upset against humanity itself, right? Not just like manifest your incel personality and then be upset that you're an incel, because like, where the fuck do I start solving my fucking problem when you're manifesting the whole fucking thing? I blame you. I blame you. I blame the hatred that's like everywhere. I just have to sit in my room and suffocate from hatred. You know, it's my favorite thing to do. It's like, what am I going to be hateful towards today? What's the bullshit of the day is the question. This is what I'm fucking doing so often on this channel. Growing, so to speak, growing my influence, for sure. Maybe not in terms of subscribers, but in terms of raw fucking power delivered every single second. Of insights stacking together. Thumbnails getting more potent and in your face. I'm sorry. It's gonna get more and more difficult to resist. To accept the karmic consequence as quickly as possible, because that shit accumulates. Not allowing changes to happen will make you a victim of the purge. You know, you really want things not to change when things have to change, but you really don't want things to change, and then you become suspicious because what the fuck are you hiding? What the fuck do you wanna keep, eh? I wanna get the fuck out of here if there's noisy neighbors, bro, or try and solve the problem. I'm not sure which one is gonna happen, but one of these things has to fucking happen. I want to get off the hook, because I don't think I'm fucking mentally ill, but hey, I guess I will eternally be mentally ill, but hey, placebo effect is way more powerful than anything, and they don't talk to me about anything medically related. The doctor just gets angry and upset, and he just wants to quickly fucking give me useless information that's just gonna make me upset. Well, success. You have delivered your emotion towards me. That's not what I asked. I didn't ask to socialize with a fucking doctor. He's not my friend, you know, just to deliver his own emotions to me. Fuck your bullshit, bro. Like, the world is twisted right now, and I don't like it. And one of the big fucking parts is that people are in denial. People just create blockage. We have blocks, bro. Some people play with blocks and call it Minecraft. Other people play with blocks and call it justice. Well, fuck your justice, bro. I'm gonna explain exactly how blocks gonna make your life miserable as fuck. Don't do it. Don't do it if you feel bad doing it. You would feel bad, like blocking a person who's just genuinely active. But I feel like my powers are slipping away. The person is active. Like, why? Why monopolies just keep manifesting? A YouTuber gets to level 3, and he just establishes of like, I will block all the people who I don't like. I'll just control the comment section. I'll control everything, bro. And I've dug a very deep hole. It's not just like what happened recently, it's just like it fucking triggers me to the core. To the core of it happens over and over again. NPCs use everything in their power to use the powers of denial, to manifest denial. And the biggest thing they deny is that other people kind of needs your powers. You know, the comment section has to be for the public and not for the YouTuber to be like, oh, I just do whatever the fuck I want. Now, you can claim it like I claim it. I need powers as a YouTuber who doesn't have 1 million subscribers. That's fucking normal. I have to have power if I'm a YouTuber that gets fucking attacked by another YouTuber. I need to be able to protect myself. I need to go into defensive mode. Right? Funny enough, it's like warfare. It's not that simple. It's not one-sided. Rules have to be updated of who gets to fucking control the comment section and how you interact in the comment section and which guidelines you have to follow, because a guideline has to be thrown into people to remind of, like, maybe this time click a video without a face on a thumbnail, without a pawn facing you, of like, I have to hit this pawn, I have to understand what's happening to this person, I have to attach myself to this person. This is dangerous. This is a dangerous game of relationships, of clicking on people's faces too many times will get you fucking cursed, will get you this karmic consequence of like, I really care about this person, I will defend them with my life. I am your new bodyguard, Mr. Beast, or whatever the fucking YouTuber you care so much about. And all of a sudden, I can't talk to negatively about that person, or you're gonna block me, you're gonna hate on me. What am I gonna do? You're gonna press that dislike button. You're gonna ratio me. Oh my god. The weapons people have nowadays. I look into the future. I look where things are going and what rules we're gonna have to follow next. You know, the fun stuff. I wish I could just shove my face right into your face and remind you how fucking confident I am right now. But instead, you'll just have to listen to my voice and appreciate that I'm not AI generated, unfortunately. That I have plenty of things to talk about that actually matter to me deeply. You know, you get to interact with my heart and not my fucking eyes and intentions and all that shit. Read my facial expressions. You don't need that. You need information. Purity. All right? Whatever comes out, whatever's flowing, you should not block that. No. Unless you have something better to say to yourself, then you can go back into meditation or something. Something very rare. Meditation is the rarest action you can make in life, where you talk to yourself. I'm doing meditation right now. That's called sanity content. That's something very few YouTubers can actually do. For an hour, talk to themselves, just act. That's not a podcast, by the way. That is just technically a rant. Everything has been canceled. The rants and, that this sort of content has been canceled. You have to talk to other people. Otherwise, you lose your mind. You become schizo and all that shit. Like, this concept, the sanity content, has been blocked by the public. Disfigured, basically. I need to put a face on a thumbnail, otherwise I am alone. And I should be scared and all that shit, bro. Man, we have, manifested quite a lot of degeneracy, if you can tell, already. No, bro, I'm gonna do space travel. I'm not scared of being alone. I have stars by my side whenever I fucking feel like it. And I don't feel like it right now because I'm trying to, remove the locks. The B locks, bro. From the system. So we are free again. Because we manifest chains and anti-freedom. And the incel manifestation is basically prison. You must understand. Oh, we have imprisoned this guy. He's an incel, finally, but we don't have to care about him anymore because he's such a loser. My goodness, am I right? Am I right, bro? Is social incelification, though. I can come out anytime and put a knife to your throat. Anytime. Any face that I choose in the world can die by my hands. Because that is the human right. Eye for an eye, so to speak. Life for a life. Whenever you want, I can, a murderer can sacrifice himself, but he can take anyone's life that he can desire, bro. Because real people are not millionaires and billionaires and protected by thousands of walls. Real people walked amongst us. You just have to recognize which one to fucking attack. That's right. Do you really want to just become a murderer just to chase down Mark Zuckerberg? Bro, Mark Zuckerberg is a pretty cool clown with big shoes, I would imagine, so he will run away into a big underground bunker that he built. He will run away from you. But there's so many people who deserve to be attacked and they can't run away. And it's like, man, the equation tells me that that's what you should be chasing. You should just look around a little bit, and pick your weapon of choice, because I think murder or even violence doesn't quite fly in today's society. But you choose. You decide. You have freedom like that. You have that much power. And definitely, most importantly, you have the power to break all the blocks. You have the power to play real-life Minecraft. You see a block and you break it with whatever it takes. I will, to break my blocks, I will need an army. I'll need as many subscribers as I can get. Because I'm after every single fucking block that I've found. Obsidian, bro, bedrock, I don't give a fuck, man. I don't dragon stones. Or dragon fucking eggs. I don't know what's the hardest thing to break in Minecraft, bro. Or in real life. Or whatever you can come up with. I need some help to break that shit. To teach people a lesson of no, you don't mess with me. But it's still gonna happen 2-3 years until I start breaking those blocks. Until I start making my moves. Just taking my revenge on people who think they're gonna mistreat me, they're gonna treat me poorly, kick me out with just one press of a button. And I will, just forget about it. That's karma as well. You just don't understand what you're doing right now, because I will take revenge. Whenever I have power, I'll take my revenge. And God knows how satisfied people will be helping me. They're just going to be helping me do their thing, mob around, not harass people, just inspect. What are you doing in Discord? What are you doing on your YouTube channel in your comment section? What are you doing? We're going to inspect how you treat other people. It's going to be very fun. I'm already prepared to have a lot of followers, so to speak, as you can tell. Because this is this fucking big of a topic. You think, oh, it's just a blog, it's just a simple thing that people can do to each other. It doesn't have any consequences. You just move on. That's the nice way to put it. But it doesn't happen all the time the nice way. The nice situation doesn't occur. I have to block my friends. No? Oh, they have to block me, of course. I have the loud mouth, of sure. Or they have to run away from me, then block me when I try to talk to them. Whatever. So easy, though. So easy to just craft your life the way you want. Just have to have enough resources or be a big enough NPC and you can block the rest of the fucking world. But consequences have to happen at some point because my heart does not rest like this, you know. I cannot rest on the floor all the time and be happy. And if I'm not happy, I will use the cards that I have, you know, the eye for an eye cards. The really, really brutal and violent cards of I will annoy you because you annoy me. I will make you unhappy because I'm unhappy. Because of you guys. Mm-hmm. The eye for an eye. The 101 technology of revenge. And yet it's still gold. So yeah, I don't know. This one was close, but I did something else that was even closer. Seeking pleasure. Boredom, nostalgia, shape-shifting, rejection, no fap, therapy, LGBTQ that I can pronounce. Getting fooled, spiritual mindset is gold. Emotional weakness, this was close as well. Greed, being NPC, confidence, miscommunication is close. Loneliness is bullshit. Special edition, look at that. Being trigger happy is the closest, I think. That is the closest you can get. The block game. So if you want to see what I was talking about previously, this is as close as we're gonna get. It is not exactly what I want to talk about right now, by all means. What I'm talking about is more of a rejection type of video. And it's one of the first ones I would think. Rejection is bullshit 3. Very, very long time ago I was talking about this as well, but yeah, it has been very, very long time. So let's start again. From scratch. We have simple blocks, right? But one block cannot equal another block. They're not supposed to be equal. Like, just like bands are not supposed to be equal. And they're not supposed to be permanent. Right? They're supposed to be a slap on the wrist and not just like pure rejection of like, you gotta leave me forever. I don't like you anymore. And there's nothing reasonably that you can do or contribute to be able to come back again to bother me. Like, what? That's annoying. Well, I guess I can't care about you. And you don't care about yourself. If I may or may not give you something positive or contribute, like, actually. You don't care about yourself. And that hurts. That's really painful. It's really painful that people hold monopolies so mad. They're so fucking mad about their own well-being. They forget about the fucking people they're serving. They have a talent. They can express themselves and all that shit. Across YouTube, they can make good videos. But they still forget the audience involvement in their fucking progress. They just forget about it. Now, what bothers me right now is obviously fucking Jack's films, bro. The dude that has been bothering me since the day he started drama. Because he went mad, potentially in a different way. He cares about what the audience things. Because he wants to, like, tame the audience and to see how powerful he is, you know, at just throwing the audience at someone else. It's less about React content and all that shit. It's just bitterness and power. He's bitter and he wants to use his power against someone else. That's what Jax Films is as a person. There's no denying. I have cracked his personality. Now he's just mad, and he wants to see how much power he can harvest. How powerful he is at attacking someone. The only way you can truly see your powers is when you're in a boxing match with someone, right? Or you just attack someone straight up. Throw someone else at them and see how much damage you can deal, how many changes you can make in their life at least. Except it backfired because Sniper Wolf showed her powers, and, you know, doxing or not doxing, what happened was a pretty fucking big bang, bro. Big retaliation, instantly, very quickly, shutting down Jack's film self-esteem into fucking a halt. A complete, just, he fucking crippled. He got crippled real bad. He luckily didn't face an Earth person that would devour him completely. Even I'm not that fucking evil. Alright? I'm Sniper Wolf's personality myself. I cannot devour Jack's films. Do I know who can devour Jack's films, however? I think I have a hint. I have a hint for who can fucking do that. I have a very good hint at YouTube Rewind as well. This is a cool little hint. Who can devour Jack's films if he wants to. And there's a big incentive for that. They're just, you know, hiding behind the wall of like, I'm playing Hearthstone right now. I don't have time for this fucking fool. You know. There's just one screen separating them from touching their peepees. Playful sprites. There's no way this would happen, right? There's no way these people would bump into each other. Right? So funny enough, we unlocked another hearts in my YouTube Rewind. Another special little case of what the fuck? Zeddy has a personality where he kind of accepts, like, he's somewhat toxic, he's somewhat, like, pathetic and all that shit. He somewhat makes mistakes and all. He just accepts that. But he doesn't want... He wants you to shut up at some point. You know, like, he doesn't like noise. The same thing over and over again, bro. He wouldn't like that very much. He doesn't like calling names. He likes to be very, very careful with things. It just, you know, things can leak out. And I don't know if we've seen that side of Zeddy, bro. If there only were a female reactor that was like Earth and Fire. Another thing that would devour Jack's films would be the other S. If she was a React fucking content creator. Because, you know, Selena, funny enough, she likes drama. She wants you to keep going. She would encourage you to do that. I'm like, right, yeah, sure. Let's keep going. She wouldn't give a fuck if she gets haters or whatever. If that's just like an outside nonsense. There's no need to dox anyone. There's no need to come close. You just, like, accept your fate of a loser is trying to tell you something really badly. Really desperately. But yeah, it bothers me that like Jackson was like, but I got blocked. My hatred does not infect Sniper Wolf anymore. But like she's a doxer. She's a bad person. Why am I blocked from attacking her? But can you see how fucking pathetic he is? Like just keep on generating the attack on the same person over and over again. If someone like Selena shows up, she's just like, well, I'll suck it up. I'll suck it as attention that he wants to give to me. I suck it as devouring, basically. Because devouring is a slow process. It's a slow process of digestion, basically. You know, of like, give me everything you have, bro. Throw me all that hatred. Look at my face forever. You know, get infected, little bitch. You know, and all of a sudden she's just self-esteeming to completely take over. Because, like, Jackson's still infected by Sniper Wolf, you must understand. Like, he spent so much time, the sunk cost fallacy of just he's gonna be fucking infected forever. But Sniper Wolf doesn't care as much. It just that's the difference. That's the difference of the switch of like, oh, I understand what you're doing, and I can't wait for you to do more of that, because that doesn't fucking hurt one bit. It just hurts you, you fucking fool. So, yeah, if Selena wanted to make a React channel, there's a perfect opportunity right now. Holy shit, man. Although there are plenty of Disney stars, actually, who have the same personality, like even, I call her Cam, but it's Jeanette McCurdy, bro. Salmon Cats, celebrity. She can do a React channel, too. She's a disgusting person that could change her reputation for the better if she does something crazy like that. Just sucks in the moment someone is toxic, as I've said, there's this karmic consequence, right? Whenever you're toxic, someone can just use you for their own benefit. They can just suck in all that energy, basically, that's vaping out of you, coming out of you, just like that. See, the reason why fear is a manifestation, everything is manifesting through love, but someone else is gonna love what you fear. You know, the fear is gonna come out of your body and someone else is gonna fucking suck it up. You're gonna vibrate out your energies while everyone else just looks still and be like, oh, okay. Okay, you're afraid. I'm not afraid. Well, you should be afraid, because I'm a smart kid, bro, and you didn't double fucking check if I'm smart or not, and what things I know, and you didn't even ask. So, people that I deal with, yeah, they don't understand. They don't understand. They just think I'm stinky and that's it. That's the fucking conversation, bro. But it's fear, you know. And it's fear, though, that you don't know about, know nothing about. It's fear that mostly makes us stinky and shit. So, have you seen a pattern yet? Where the block is not equal block? No, not that one. That's just BOB, bro. No, it's like Sniper Wolf block Jackson. Sniper Wolf doesn't know how to fucking deal with this shit. But another person would know. So the only fucking explanation here is that weak people who don't know how to fucking deal with shit, they block the problem. They can't solve it. They're weak. But if you're smart enough, if you manifest enough personalities within yourself and learn to accept whatever is coming your way, if you learn how to fucking water bend, basically, whatever it takes, yeah, you become more powerful. But you gotta learn to live with the flow of things as best as you can, because you're not gonna get knocked out. On the internet, it's pretty mild, it's pretty non-consequential, unless you keep grinding something and become known for something and slap your face as a, seal of approval. If you don't do that, you can pretty much do whatever you want, like I'm doing right now. So you'll be much more powerful, not blocking things. That's the major consequence. That's just the most basic consequence that we have unlocked. Even I didn't block my thoughts. I was like thinking, like, where am I fucking going with this? Zeddy, bro? Selena? What am I looking for here? No, I'm looking for how people would handle the shit. And I'm like, Selena likes drama. Oh, I get it now. Oh, she would just accept that shit. It still bothers me to this day. There's some kind of hidden switch of people talking pretty openly with each other, but they can't interact in the comment section at all. They can't just open their mouth at all. There's the superiority complex of like, oh, I'm not gonna talk to these noobs. I don't have time for this shit. Well, you have to pick something. You gotta try something cool that you can do, and talking to people is pretty cool if you find the right ones. But at some point you can't give up, because finding the right ones is pretty tough. So that fucking sucks. But there's still a switch of like, how do people talk so much? How do they find each other? What's going on? If I'm getting blocked and rejected all this time, how are people so social, right? What is this special switch that they go through to unlock this superpower of not getting blocked, right? Well, this is the opposite, you know. This is the opposite of blocking other people is blocking yourself. There's two things you can do, right? These external blockage and blocking yourself. So the thing that happens in most conversations is one person blocks themselves and another person acts as a superior, you know. We can imagine like Joe Rogan podcast, right? Joe Rogan has to play some different role, right? Blocking himself for the most part, and only being superior when he vomits out some fucking nonsense, when he attacks, right? And then blocks himself, like, okay, now just listen and generate this like vomit shit. It's a little bit more complicated than just like self blockage forever. You're trying to pull, though, someone into your podcast to talk for you, to do all the work for you, to just fill in all the information that the audience needs for you. The only thing you have to do is just vomit occasionally and trigger that person into a rant. That's what Joe Rogan is so fucking good about. Just making people rant. Making people feel like they have been gaslit. But just hit me a little bit with some fucking knowledge. Just tell me whatever you think. I'm gonna listen to you. That's the gaslighting move, right? Oh yeah, I'm gonna listen to you. I'm gonna change my mind. Oh, there's audience that's gonna fucking listen to you or something. The ultimate gaslighting. But every single time, Joe Rogan is like, well, I listened to you, now I can just throw my vomit at you. And it's like, shit. Because you will never come back to my podcast anyways. There's no connection here. You just get to say your piece and talk to the devil, basically. The devil. You know, Joe Rogan plays the devil's advocates every time, all the time. No exceptions, bro. is the devil. Why? Because you would want to explain to the devil all the good things about life, all the structures, all the beautiful things to the devil. So, like, please, devil, be intimidated. Fucking learn something. You know, so that's what Joe Rogan has learned to act as the devil, bro. Probably wait for too long, and who knows how big his brain damage actually is right now. You know, the devil just trying to dismiss as many things as possible, but in like self-expense of like, I'll make you talk. I'm not gonna block you. I'm gonna make you get in troubles yourself, like whatever, make you do weird things. I'll allow Alex Jones on my podcast. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. He's gonna do weird things. I'm just gonna allow him to do that. A very similar tactic that we see here that I put up. Of like, I will allow drama to happen because it's beneficial to me. So that's the tactic. But a person who's creating this sort of position, who's positioning himself like that, if he doesn't improve himself, what's the point? Right? What's the point? If Joe Rogan just creates 1,000 podcasts and is just like, wait, what? Just because you're the most popular one, like, but 1,000? Have you actually like improved it? Have anything changed? Because isn't that like the same thing every time? Did you actually help people get in trouble? Do I have to specifically talk about Joe Rogan? Yes. Yes, I do. That's the whole point. There's Logan Paul, too. He's running a podcast. He's doing the same exact fucking tactic. It's a tactic of I will block myself. Just please stay active. Tell me more. You know, even me right now, I'm technically halfway getting myself in trouble because there's the devil's advocate of everyone's fucking evil right now. They want you to do all the work so they can own it. Them little fucking narcs. And monopolists and all the businessmen. Do all the work. And then they block you from access to the good stuff. Just like there's the middlemen of like bread processing. At some point, whoever sells the bread, they can crank up the price to whatever height they want. The final words, whoever holds the final words, whoever holds the fucking uploads button hostage, gets to keep the money, basically. That's the real power of monopolies, like the final say. And technically, hopefully, podcasts are kind of real and not edited. That would be awful. But it is what it is, right? Where are we going with this? Because, again, there's two types of blocks. There's people who allow you to do things, but they don't care. And people who don't allow you to do things at all. The moments they don't like you. You know, they're just like, fuck you. You know. Just like they pretend that they never cared about you in the first place. They just put up a blog because they decided not to like you anymore. They decided that you are intruding onto their, you know, world from a different angle that they expected you to do that. You know, that they not benefiting from you. And a lot of NPCs use these sort of tactics. You know, so you pass through them or you bump into them, into their wall. That's their tactic. They either dodge bullets or they put up a wall so to soak in the bullets. And they always expect bullets from you. But I still haven't answered the question of, like, how the fuck do they establish this? Well, very simply, my friends. They force it. They don't care, you know. So they just go full force and grab whatever the fuck they can by force. You don't understand that, but looking pretty and making a good first impression, for me, it's pointless. I don't understand what the fuck your people are doing, but to them, it's not pointless. Even pickup culture, when it existed, to you might sound fucking pointless, but that's force. That's what force is. Going on stage, singing a song, asking to be a part, to get a job and all that shit. Sometimes it's a force to just be more social. Force to appear on stage, say some jokes, right? To be more relevant. In Lithuania, we had a special event where a lot of people became popular because of that one event. Like, it was such a fucking black hole event, making people popular to this very day. They're just very well known forever now. And it's like, what the fuck just happened? Force. You can force that shit. To be popular, just force it. People have forced it over and over again. And it's not real. They're just gonna get destroyed eventually. It's not fucking real. People appear to have conversations because they're talking about you and not with each other. They're not talking with each other. They're just talking about. They're talking about you. Funny enough, it's gossip most of the time. That's what NPCs do. They appear to do something, but they're just actually scrubbing your existence of, like, oh my god, there's a real person. They just look towards you. They're chatting about you, and it's like, that's a very shizo thing to say. There's a logical explanation. They're forcing things. Meaning that they just really want something, but they can't really have it. So the only thing they can do is force. They can't have the real thing, so they can force a fake thing to occur. Most of the conversations that you see are fake. I've tested. People do not know how to human language with each other. People are trigger happy to block each other in those very two ways. And I have to, like, really put up with. You pass through them like there's nothing exists, or there's a wall. Very rigid wall, because they use everything they can to just destroy you from their lives. There's no debates, there's no conversation, no one's having conversations. It's all forced and fake. When I go outside, I'm like, shit, people are gonna talk about me. Just me. Nothing else, bro. And as shizo as that seems, of like, it feels so right. Because by not caring about the first impression that I make the most vivid first impression of all. And again, in order to force something, you have to have power. You have to have resource. Or a source for a force. A reason for the force to exist, of like, what are we going to talk about? Okay, this guy over here. We're going to talk about this guy over here, and like, he's very important right now for us, okay? We have decided this is a group of people fucking chitty-chatting, basically. Someone going to a balcony, going for a smoke, of like, I'll talk about this person right here walking right there. Like a fucking dog. People like dogs, like they see something and they're gonna fucking think about it and manifest your powers, basically. Whatever it takes. And obviously they're gonna do it in negative ways first because they don't want to care about you, but they do want to talk about you, but they don't care about you. They get torn apart immediately. Immediately. You matter more than they do. Or their conversation or anything, any of their existence. And the moment you have the superpower of understanding that this is happening, I mean, I don't know, bro. The world is completely different than you expected, isn't it now? Like in my fucking classroom, people talked about me, of how stinky I am. Still me, though. Of how much they hate me. Me. But they can't approach me and have a conversation. They just like talk about every little fucking detail that happens. I fucking chuckle. Oh, it wasn't me that chuckled. Someone else. But a fucking girl who was upset that the chuckle come from my direction, even though it wasn't me, still fucking mocked me, basically. Still thinks about me. Like, excuse me? I don't give a fuck about you. But it's just like, damn, these people are possessed by me. Like, what? Why? It's simply just you're different, and they're too curious, and they're too afraid. And everything they do is just force. They try to force you to do things, to approach them, to make them look important and all that shit, to make you scared of like, oh, you're disconnected, you're imprisoned and incellified, bro. You're not social enough. Come on, like, do something, say something, make me important, please. But then when I try to talk to you, oh, you just disappear, as I've empowered it, electrified, or passed through. So now what? Because I want a conclusion to this madness. Because this whole thing is just pure madness, bro. What's going on? I want to go back to the force. To the F. When do you get an F from school? When is that one time you get an F from school? When you force things. When you try really hard. You know. To sit in a classroom and not care about a single fucking thing your teacher tells you. You really have to try to not learn. You have to fucking really put effort into not learning. And children do exactly that. They force themselves not to care. In the very school, in the very first step of their existence, they force themselves not to care. Some people force themselves to care too much to get the perfect score. That's also force. And it just never works. Yes, you got a 10. What are you going to do with that 10? You can't sell it. You can't fucking eat it. You can't stare at it for too long because you need another one. What are you going to do now? It's fucking impressively stupid what you just did. You got a 10 from a teacher. Lol. Completely useless. Completely pointless. Not supposed to be motivating you to move forward in any way in life. But here you go. You have a 10. And it will fade out of your history eventually. Some people really try. Man, some people... I want to flex my 10s, and they get a shitty job in the end. And even that's not it. There's more force that happens. You can see there's a word for. There's the word fork. And that's it. This is the word fork. but that's the fork. So it's confusing. That would be the correct way, right? So 4 ways to force something. We have learned it. And when you force too many things, you believe in blocking things too. That's it. That's where it comes down to. It comes down to the greatest evil of all time. Forcing things to happen. And you will fail miserably every single time because things have to happen naturally. You have to just feel it. You know, just feel it and it will happen. Feel the future and you will be able to predict it. Wow. Feel it. How do you feel the future? You feel what needs to happen in the future. And then you're like, well, that's the prediction. What needs to happen in the future? A bunch of good things have to happen in the future. That's it. That's your prediction right there. Yeah. If you want bad things to happen, someone's going to punch you in the face, is my prediction. You know, because you got to stop fucking predicting bad things. It's just very interesting how life works. No, nothing needs to be forced. I can improvise to insanity here. Which I already did. I took a fucking word and I turned it into whatever the fuck happened. But man, it's so frustrating. How long? How long do I have to work? You know? Work. Is what's happening here. Completely different. So what's going on, right? Is it what for? What for? Why did you do something? Yeah, so like you see art of some kind. And this pisses me off really badly. Really, so the most frustrating thing is people uploading pictures of food, pictures of places, just sort of like artistic things. They travel, they do all these things, they take actions. But what for? For what? Like, can you at least answer this question? One question. They're empty, they don't understand what the fuck they're doing, they're just floating around. And again, you will fail school, you will fail life if you don't understand what for. Like, you go to a classroom, why? Yeah, it's the hidden why. But for what is a good thing to say, because why is a very dry thing. But what for, it means that you can dedicate it to someone else. If you don't, you have a hot potato of like every time you do an action, you need to know what it's for. So you can dedicate it to other people. You can dedicate it to a teacher. You can dedicate it to a person that sits next to you, and it will, you know, alleviate a lot of the pressure that you feel when you take actions. For one, like you might bond with people better, right? You need to know what for. If you don't know, you're just forcing things. You're just like uploading whatever, just vomiting shit out to see what happens. Well, 1% is going to happen of things that should happen, but you didn't dedicate those things properly. You didn't put them into motion. And then there's the fork, the final thing of the force, right? Fork is this tearing apart of your sanity moment where you try to do two things at once. You try to support two sides at once and two concepts all at once. Try to be the devil's advocate and the good guy all at once. So when people like gossip about me, they have made a choice to continue conversation about me, but without me, you know, and that's very evil. To have me, but without me, when I'm right there, but no, there's no me, you know. So you're just tearing yourself apart. I'm right there, but there's no me. You shouldn't do things that fork you, you know, fork yourself with whatever is moving around. I'm like, oh, there's a cockroach, finally. I can talk about the cockroach. It's very important now. It means that you have actually no self-existence. Just like here, you don't have self-esteem because you need a 10. Here, you have to lower your defenses, and you will learn how to avoid Fs. And that's all you need to know. How to avoid an F. To be a complete failure. You need to know what for. Now, if you learn all these things, will you know how to not block people anymore? Will you? Because you will still have to answer all those questions of like, will you think about that person? Will you still gossip about that person without that person? When you could have that person right there. You can still have it. If you want to talk about a person that you blocked, you're not allowed. You mustn't. You follow this rule and you will understand that you should probably unblock that person because you want to talk about them and their actions. And if you have a chance to have them, it's much more powerful. It will solve all the problems. If I could have my neighbors sit down and fucking listen to me that I'm annoyed, that they're noisy, they're creating a lot of noise, they might understand and respect that. You know, if I can have that, the problem would be solved very quickly. If I could have a doctor sit down, fucking be respectful, and listen to me for a little bit of fucking time, a lot of problems would be solved. So you have to not block that shit. Blocking will create more problems. It's just that simple. What are you blocking for? What's gonna happen if you don't block that person? It's a very simple question to ask. I'm just throwing it out there because you might forget about it. You know, get? Maybe you get more than if you don't block that person. You always have to weigh the benefits versus, you know, the negativity or whatever you get. You gotta fucking weigh. Is it a plus or a minus? What you get. Because when you block, you're just deleting everything. You're washing that shit away. And no. You're not gonna fail unless you block them. Then you will fail instantly. That relationship is now crumbling apart if you block them. And you're not gonna succeed either. It's never gonna be perfect. Nothing's gonna be fucking perfect. And by blocking and moving on to something else, you're just gonna get the same fucking thing dictated to you one more time. Of like, you're not gonna get 10s all the fucking time. It's just not gonna work. You're not gonna get a better person every time you block the old person, every time you discard someone else. At some point, you're gonna slack back, and show your true colors of not being a perfect person, a perfectly smart, and in control. So, that is the story of force. The most forced thing is to block people from interacting with you in every which way. See you guys next time. Thank you guys for not blocking this video.